talked about it plenty of times before, but my first ever console was the original Xbox, and I had a pretty decent selection of games like Spider-Man 1, Star Wars Attack of the Clones, and Tetris Effect, that was a double pack, Mech Assault 1, Quantum Redshift, and the game I wasn't allowed to play at 4 years old, Halo Combat Evolved. But eventually, I was able to convince my parents and my older sister that, hey, it's okay, I'm killing aliens, not people, and somehow that actually worked, albeit with a lot of help from my dad. And so around the age of 7, I finally got to play Combat Evolved for the first time, with the caveat that my dad had to be present in the room when I played it. And you know what? It was cool. Now, while this game may have been present in my life since I was a mere 4-year-old, I didn't actually beat it until I was about 11, and even then, that was on easy mode. Most of my time playing Halo 1 was either playing co-op with my dad, or replaying the opening beach fight of Silent Cartographer over and over again. And a large part of that was because the flood scared the ever-living piss out of me and gave 8-year-old me nightmares for months. Regardless, if you've seen my level ranking or review perspective of Combat Evolved, you may think the subject of this video would be 2 Betrayals, as I consider that to be the hardest level in the game. But after replaying that game a year ago, I've actually turned around on 2 Betrayals, and while I still consider it the most difficult level on Heroic and lower, I quite like the level nowadays. And besides, we all know the real worst level in the game, and also the most obnoxious level in the game, especially on Legendary. Today's video is about the fucking library. This level right here is why so many people dislike Halo 1's second half, and I'm gonna bitch about it some, so yeah. Get comfy, this is probably gonna be one of the longer episodes. This is genuinely one of the worst levels I've ever had the displeasure of playing through. Now, I will admit, I'm no master of the Halo series. Go watch Goat Rope if you're into high-level Halo play. But for this video, I played through this level 3 separate times. Once on normal, once on heroic, and once on legendary. And hoo frickin' boy, that's gonna be a story. So, let's dive on into pain and suffering, shall we? The level begins with you being given a warm welcome by a bunch of flood infection forms as well as flood marines and elites that are more than happy to rush you down, and it also introduces you to the large flood enemies, which are carriers that love to waddle towards you then blow up. These essentially act as the grenades for the flood faction, as their explosions do some pretty big damage and have friendly fire enabled, but they also have some insane knockback so they can either send you or other enemies flying into one another. But it can lead to some really bad chain reactions, which can get out of hand, and suddenly, oh, you've got a flood with a rocket launcher in your face firing. Now, this is an early arena. It's not the hardest, but you do need to keep moving. Bullet weapons are very dangerous in this game. And a lot of that's due to the real threat of this level, the flood elites with plasma pistols. In normal and veteran, they're not too bad, but on legendary, they spam that thing like someone with an itchy trigger finger in multiplayer and can shred your shields near instantly. Not helped by some floods having shotguns which can instantly kill you, but to be fair, you can kind of do the same. Those shotgun users are interesting because they're actually the reason I find this level easier on heroic than on normal. Now, on normal, you're getting swarmed by flood with weapons like assault rifles and plasma rifles, but very few shotguns are present, which also means you have very little ammo to truly work with, and shotguns are your friend because they have a high chance to instantly kill the flood since it only takes a few pellets to delete them from existence, and the flood levels in Halo 1 are almost designed around using the shotgun being able to one-hit anything they can throw at it. So, your increased ammo makes for an easier time, at least from my personal experience, which is kind of odd, you know, making the game harder to make it easier. What is this, Persona 5? Now, on Legendary, that kind of goes out the window because there's even more enemies and they can easily kill you before you're even close enough to use the shotgun. Yeah. Oh, finally health, sweet Jesus. Time to lose it all. Now, I'm going to be honest, I hate this level, and I was not about to play through it on Legendary all on my own, so I got in a Discord call with friends, and that led to some various conversations. Some of which I can't play on YouTube, but some of which I can, including, personally, my opinions on some future Halo games after...
What is it? But I think it is a perfectly fun game, and I think...
Oh yeah, no, I love Infinite.
It has some well-deserved criticism, but I think a lot of people hate it for, like, too much.
They hate it because 343 slapped on it instead of Bungie, even though honestly I'd say Bungie might be a scummier company these days.
Yeah, like Halo
Dude,
fans
there
can
are
hate me
so
for 3 all they want, but Bungie actually is garbage now. Like, I would not want them back on Halo.
there are still people who like want the Bungie, like want to give Halo back to Bungie, completely unaware of how Bungie is now.
Dude, Bungie is like a fucking... Bungie is not Bungie anymore. It's a homunculus flesh puppet of its fucking gravity. Now, for the most part, even on Legendary, Halo isn't the hardest thing ever. Unless you're doing a lasso run, but I'm not, and I don't plan to ever do so. However, there's 3 particular points in the level of the library that really freaking suck. And 2 of them, you just have to hunker down while getting swarmed by the Flood, waiting for 343 Guilty Spark to get off his lazy, spherical, robotic ass, and open up the damn door. You do get backed up by Sentinels, but, well, they're a decent bit of backup on normal mode. They die almost instantly in Combat Evolved if you're playing on Legendary. Honestly, I think the library did horrible damage to Halo's reputation. Now, I know this game is still well regarded and very much loved, but the fact is, this is the last original level in the game, and it's a very repetitive and tedious ordeal of going around in circles pretty much. And while I actually like the 3 levels after this, they do in many ways feel like warped and very distorted versions of pre-existing levels from earlier in the game. It doesn't hurt it as much as I think some people believe it does, but it does kind of lend to this feeling of Halo 1 running out of dev time near the end. And that's an issue that unfortunately I think kind of plagues the entire Halo trilogy. These sorts of choke point moments where you have to just fight off waves of enemies can be a massive pain in the ass because your Sentinel companions get taken out very quickly, and after that, you're getting rushed down by dozens of angry Flood, and not only can they shoot you, but they move faster than you, and there's not a lot of cover in this arena. And while you're getting swarmed by infection forms, you basically need to have 360 degree vision because if you're not careful, you'll have a Flood explode right behind you, which will lead to your death very quickly. Alright, if I get past this segment, I'm gonna just get my fucking... I'm gonna die. Fuck this shit. Oh my god.
Well, now that I have
starving
all
yourself
the...
till you beat the mission is a really genius idea.
Not till... I was stuck at this choke point for the better part of 30 minutes.
Everything else was just kind of...
Halo 2's Magnum should be, like, considered a sin now. I'll never forgive them for that.
Oh, fucking hell, finally. There better be a checkpoint there. Thank God. Now, when you finally get past that choke point, we're able to continue on through the library. It's not as bad now, because I've beaten this game about a dozen times, but much like the Cathedral of Sacred Blood and Code Vein, this is an easy level to get turned around in because pretty much everything looks the exact same. Also, be careful when going through this especially long hallway because you're going to be introduced to an infamous, rare, but very dangerous enemy of Halo 1.
3 days.
There's the Rocket Flood. Yeah, those guys are able to one-shot you, though thankfully, unless you're right on top of them, they're probably not going to hit you. Still, be careful, they almost always get you the first time. We do have another Hold the Line segment here waiting for Guilty Spark, but it's mercifully very easy compared to the others with a ton of room to move around and barely any enemies other than infection forms which take exactly one shot to kill multiple of in a single bullet. You'd think the narrow hallway segments would be the worst parts of the level, but they're honestly not too bad, and there's not too much that actually goes on in them. In fact, during this segment, there wasn't much going on, so it just led to different conversations, such as my lack of drawing capabilities, and also the best pizza chains out there. The only pizza place I really like, and it's not even because it's good pizza, is Little Caesars.
Fuck.
Dude, Little Caesars is goated though. Cheap pizza, like, never forget who's there for you at your lowest.
People are like, oh, Little Caesars sucks because the pizza's not even good. It's like, dude, it's $5 fucking dollars for $5.
It's $5. I'm not buying it for something amazing. I'm buying it for the bare minimum nourishment.
And convenience.
It's cheap. It's
cheap,
not
even
it's
that
convenient.
bad.
It's warm
and
and
ready.
it tastes.
Oh, and you get the crazy bread. And,
it tastes good enough, and the crazy bread's pretty nice.
Little Caesars is awesome, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. Marco's Pizza is also pretty good. If you have one that's near where you live, I'd say it's worth checking out. And as this level continued on, we started talking about what we think the worst level in the Halo series is. Library is bad, but for me it's like bottom 3. Though the worst level is a pretty easy pick, if I'm being perfectly honest.
It's not fun, though. It's very
no, it's
repetitive.
not fun. Well,
The thing is, it's very repetitive.
people are like, oh, it's the worst level in Halo history. It's like, nah.
It's the worst level in the game, but worst level in Halo
Okay,
history.
wait. Actually, what is the worst level in Halo history?
Cortana.
It's Cortana. It's definitely Cortana.
It's Halo 3 Cortana. It's this, but so much fucking worse. The Flood have shields, and then you're getting stopped constantly by both the fucking Gravemind and by Cortana.
And the sad thing is, I know there are people out there that will defend the library and say it's actually one of the best levels in the series. I don't see why. And there are people who will defend Cortana. I'm sorry, you're just objectively wrong. That level sucks. Anyways, this level also can get oddly glitchy, where every time I play through it, there is always one random Flood elite that just spontaneously combusts and dies, I guess. And it happened consistently, too.
Certain points. I think the monster designs were amazing, though. Which... What the fuck? What?
This random death happened multiple times. I don't understand what's going on, but I think there's something wrong with the guy's spawn-in position, where it seems like he's either going too fast and slams into the wall, or falls to his death, or something. But yeah, this level feels like it's held together by duct tape, glue, bubble gum, and some prayers.
Awesome, and I hate that he got like completely sidelined and cucked in Halo 3.
They should not have cucked him to play
fuck?
2, dude.
This happened again. This one Flood just dies.
Overall, this whole stretch of the level isn't too bad. It's kind of just unremarkable, but it's really just waiting until you get to the box.
Honestly, though, I would say most of this part of the library isn't too bad. Whenever you're able to actively stay on the move, it's all pretty manageable. The problem is the sections where you have to hold your ground for a while against multiple waves of enemies. The level is generous with checkpoints, mercifully, but when the enemies can kill you in 2 seconds or less, that feels more like a band-aid than a fix to the actual problem. And the infamous box point when you have to hold your position until the monitor returns might be the worst part of it all. There's very little cover in this arena, enemies pour in constantly, there's only a single health pack, and your only weapons are whatever you brought in and whatever the Flood brings in. The only small saving grace is that you're given 2 frag grenades, and since the Flood come out of 2 points, if you time it just right, you can cut the enemy spawns effectively down by about a third of their total amount, which does help. Now on normal and heroic, this segment isn't too bad if you have a shotgun coming in, though it'll still probably take a few attempts. The Jehovah's Witnesses come and want to tell you about their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And how his actual name, and how God's actual name was Jehovah, even though it's not, and it's just vowels that were added to Yahweh, and I don't fucking know where I'm going with this. Now is not the time for a biblical study. But of course, when you're on Legendary and you've been playing this same level for over an hour and a half, you might get some funny conversations or out-of-context voice clips of your friends talking about Undertale characters.
I never said I wanted to put my dick inside that fish, bro.
It was around this point I was starting to get really sick of this level and just thinking about wanting to play something else whenever I was finally done with it.
I jump
Honestly,
post.
I'd honestly would rather be playing Uma Musume Party Dash right now. That game is actually really fun.
Party Dash?
Yes.
Full chip.
Oh.
Like the pixel art.
It's like it's 8.
Yeah,
it's like
I remember. I was kind of like, wait a minute.
Game. Funny enough, talking about Uma Musume Party Dash was what ultimately led to me beating that segment. Now, in an ideal world, if you can keep your health up to max, that should be the last really tough part of this godforsaken level. However, we've still got a ways to go, and my footage still has another 55 minutes of recording, and yeah, it's still pretty easy to get turned around here because everything looks the same. Not to mention, I was recording this late around midnight after a long day of work, and the only thing keeping me going at this point was spite and talking about Uma Musume. I am quite fond of El Condor Pasa. Running through this level multiple different times led to different conversations, and on my first run through for this video, it pivoted to, honestly, the missed potential of Digimon Time Stranger and how the final act of the game kind of starts falling apart. It was like essentially a sequel that ran off of Cyber Sleuth's engine and all that stuff. I hope we, but with a so much better story, I hope we get an equivalent of that for Time Stranger, because Time Stranger is like a really fun game, and the story's really good, but it falls apart in the final third so hard with the story, where it's kind of like everything just turns into
oh no, this character died. We now need to turn back time and undo that so they don't get killed. And then, oh, by the way, half of these plot lines we ran out of dev time to actually conclude, so we're just gonna randomly give you over 30 fucking side quests the second you enter the final dungeon
I
to
just
try
realized
and
I
patchwork
just
resolve
like,
that. It really is just the epitome of we ran out of dev time. As for Legendary, maybe it's because it was late at night at the end of the work week and I was exhausted and running off about 4 hours of sleep, but probably my favorite conversation of the night happened when we were talking about horrible fandoms and, well, the Chappie Robot game.
Kill is
I
actually a
want
good
to-
game when you don't look at the fan base.
I want to
Ultra
rest
Kill's a
my
good-
head
I would
on
actually delete
Facebook.
Ultra Kill from the face of the earth. Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you. Even without the fan base, I think, like completely ignoring the fan base, and you just play the game, and then you see what that game has spawned in terms of people.
It would honestly be
I would,
better.
if I was the developer, I would fucking delete that game. I would be like, holy
You should
shit,
both-
what have I done?
I am become death, destroyer of
The
fandoms.
fucking was like
yeah,
some like
you
time
basically became
traveling wizard.
Oppenheimer for fucking indie
Imagine-
game toxic
I
people.
would
Imagine
rest my
like
head
some
on
wizard
Facebook
like
for this.
appear.
Honestly, I agree. For how cool the game could be, I think Ultra Kill's existence has been a net negative for the human race as a whole. The conversation after a while pivoted to talking about the Persona 4 remake and what's been revealed, and me being relieved that the golden content is going to be added to it.
Like, I never doubted that this would be a golden remake. I don't think they would go Persona 4 and then add like Maria's DLC. That would be extraordinarily stupid, and I think it would also
Yeah,
just
no.
be anti-consumer because you're selling a new game technically. Like, it's
Well,
like
here's
also-
the thing, though. Here's the thing. There is, they've done stupid shit like that before because Soul Hackers 2 has that, where basically there's that character Nana. Her entire story,
Yeah.
which is spread throughout the game, is DLC.
yeah, that is true.
It's
They did
fucking
that with Soul
stupid.
Hackers too,
That's
but
why
I
was
don't
thinking-
think they do. I don't think they do that with Persona. That's like their baby. Like that's the thing.
Look, I'd like to think they're not stupid enough to do that, but they've also proven they have done stupid shit like that before. That's what I'm saying. I like Atlas games, but man, their DLC practices are atrocious. Anyways, I know I'm cutting away a ton, but the fact is the library just isn't an interesting level. It's just a very long one as you run through identical looking areas while fighting waves of enemies, and the Flood go from being a terrifying new faction to an irritating swarm of wasps. It commits the cardinal sin of any scary enemy in a game, where the player's reaction changes from, oh fuck, to, oh fuck off. I wish I could say the final stretch isn't bad, because you know what, on normal and heroic it's not. You just blast your way through the last few Flood, and you get inside the blue beam of light, and it's done with this horrendous level and on to 2 Betrayals, which has issues, but I actually kind of like that place. Unfortunately, however, if you're on Legendary, this final push is a nightmare. I hope you made it to this checkpoint with full HP, because now any remaining health pickups are gone, so you've got to work with what you have, and it is dreadful. And at this point, well, the conversation shifted to things like voice actor discourse and terrible casting choices for live action shows.
Like this is like a Harry Potter HBO show, like Snape level of like catastrophe.
Black Snape,
Like,
love-
if you-
yeah, no, that
If you
is.
like, dude, you could literally make Hermione black. I don't care, but Snape of all people.
Yeah,
like,
not the dude who gets
dude,
fucking strung up a tree and
did you
hung.
guys like? Do you guys know the story?
But seriously, this segment is absolutely dreadful. There's waves upon waves of Flood, and not just the Horde that chase you, but also the Flood that are positioned in high points to take potshots at you from above, and the number of times I died right here before getting to the end of the level is enough to sour the mood. And it's not helped by the fact that, as far as I can tell, they infinitely spawn in right before the end of the level, so you can't even play it safe. At a certain point, you just had to try and go for it and hope you don't get killed, or you have enough grenades positioned at just the right point. So, time for a highlight reel. Jesus
Biden was still
Christ,
the president.
yeah, it is 3 years.
Biden was still the president,
the
which he hasn't
fuck?
been.
What the... my god.
You know, but all Biden memes were
Dude,
pretty cool.
Biden memes were great. Like, regardless what you think of him as a president, the memes were amazing. But I'm pulling up Party Dash.
You can go ahead and pull up Party Dash. Probably you probably need a break from Halo after this god awful mission.
I probably do, yeah. Yeah, God, I hate this fucking place so much. Okay. You know, I've been having some fun. Like, even the Shin Megami Tensei 4 video with Minotaur, I actually had a lot of fun making that one. This is not fun. This is like Cathedral of Sacred Blood levels of I fucking hate this place.
The thing with CE is that the reason I find the library like tolerable, not good, okay, not good. Don't get it twisted. I don't think the library is a good level, but like I find it tolerable. Is I just think CE's like combat loop is extremely satisfying.
Oh
like,
yeah, I agree.
Fucking
Like
good combat
this
loop.
on heroic, this level's honestly actually not that bad because you get so many shotguns you can easily cut through the place. The problem is, in legendary especially, which is more of a blanket issue with Halo as a general, the combat loop dies. It's
I
fair.
understand, Beetle. If you're a Pokemon fan, you can't like adults. You can only like prepubescent children.
You can only want to fuck the animals or the prepubescent children. You can't like the fully grown woman that's in her like mid to late 20s.
Expired. This one's probably like 31.
Is that just, does that fucking clown cart? No, fucking hell. My God. I swear I like this game.
You know what, man? It happens.
You know what? This is gonna make for it. I'm thinking about it this way. This is gonna make for a entertaining video. I can already hear the Ass Lieber music playing now. Breaking up this little segment, I actually didn't mention this earlier in the video script, but sometimes in Halo Combat Evolved, the FUD can just come back to life. It's a mechanic to make them feel more spooky and like zombies, and it works well on lower difficulties, but on Legendary it just ends up being a pain in the ass.
That is kind of like...
Which,
that
okay,
is
I don't know if
pretty
y'all have
useful
seen, I've been getting a lot of these ads for Ocean Vale recently, and it's like, it's really just, like, half the shit they display is just it's just fucking hentai. Or I guess that one basketball girl anime thing.
I remember, I said this earlier, but I got a fucking Honey Tune ad last night. Like, I went on YouTube at some point after
I didn't even realize
Promise
Honey Tune was still, I thought they went out of business.
I guess the site or whatever is still active. I got like a random ass Honey Tune.
I fucking hate this stupid fucking level. Gonna work, it's not gonna work. This isn't gonna work. Nope, not gonna work. Finally, after 40 minutes and way more deaths than I showed, I was able to get past the final segment and into this awful level while talking about Godzilla, and in particular Shin Godzilla at the moment.
Audience, but like, there's a reason why Shin Godzilla is so praised in Japan. There's a whole statue of him, and it's like, yeah, the political satire and stuff like that, how stupid they handled it. I get it, I understand. Shin Godzilla is a cool ass design. I fucking love the way.
Oh God! Oh,
Shin
thank
Godzilla
God!
looks like.
Thank you, Godzilla.
Shin
It's over.
Godzilla is cool.
After it was all said and done, I ultimately did fire up Uma Musume Party Dash as a palate cleanser. I hate the library. Even on lower difficulties, it's a very tedious and repetitive level where you just go through all these same looking areas over and over again while fighting enemies that very quickly lose their spooky factor and just become obnoxious. On Legendary, however, it is one of the most unpleasant things to ever be created, where the gameplay loop dies as you're repeatedly thrown into hell rooms and forced to wait while fighting off a bunch of enemies like it's Doom 2016, but Halo 1's combat loop doesn't work for these sorts of tight, cramped spaces with little to no cover, especially when the enemies all bum rush you. I did have some fun, of course, but most of that was because Halo 1 has an overall fun combat loop, even if some segments don't work well with it. And, of course, things are more enjoyable when there's friends because misery loves company. But trying to play this crap on your own would be downright dreadful. So, you know what? Thank you to my friends who sat through the 2.5 hours of Legendary Library, and a massive thanks to my buddy Critical Platinum, who joined for multiple runs through the library on different difficulties. I'm going to link his channel in the description below. If you like game reviews, I highly, highly recommend checking out his channel. He makes far better edited content than I do, and he deserves far more subscribers than he has. Either way, that's all I've got for this video. Feel free to comment down below about how I have a skill issue or I'll suck. I'm going to take the free engagement and go with it. On a more serious note, though, Worst Difficulty Spikes is back, and I will try to maintain the videos having a weekly uploads on Friday going forwards because, well, I put it to a vote and y'all chose Fridays, and if you want to see my ranking of Halo Combat Evolved's levels from worst to best, feel free to check that video out. If you'd like to see more content of varying quality, consider liking, subscribing, and hyping the video, and I'll see you all next time, where we're going to get back into more traditional episodes of talking about boss fights again, but we're going to be taking a sharp turn left into dungeon crawling JRPGs. And no, it's not an Atlas game. Until then, take care. You know what? This wasn't exactly a good run, but I never claimed to be a master of Halo. And I did beat the library on Legendary, which means I did better than Cody Miller.